Hi all, I wanted to take a look at number 3 and number 4 on 9.2. Very similar to 1 and 2, but just to give you a walkthrough of the solutions. Oh, I forgot to say happy Friday. Oh, note for the first one, folks, we have aqueous acetic. Does it start with hydro? No, it doesn't. Does it end in ic or does it end in us? It ends in ic, so I'm looking for acetate ion, which is C2H3O2 -1. Hydrogen always a cation, always +1. All acids are solutions. And then it's calcium metal. Now if you go back to your activity series, you'll see that calcium is going to be replacing hydrogen in solution here. It's more reactive, so I'm going to get hydrogen gas again. Okay. And then calcium acetate. Now, +2 -1 means I need 2 acetates for every 1 calcium. Now guys, this is an aqueous environment. Okay? All acetates are soluble, so I have these ions in solution. So there is the general equation. Got to balance. Note, 2 hydrogens, 2 acetates. Either way, I'm going to need 2 acetic acids. You see my pen isn't very dark here on the screen. Let me throw this one away. Okay, so the ionic equation. We get 2 protons from the acid in solution. 2 acetates in solution. And then the calcium metal. Okay, now, hydrogen gas. Okay, no guys, aqueous. Every time you see that means you have to split it up. +2 charge for a group 2 metal in solution, and then our 2 acetates in solution. Okay. So our net ionic is just really what formed the new substance. The protons stole hydrogen from the calcium metal to form hydrogen gas. So here's my spectator. Two acetates, no, 2 on each side. So the 2 hydrogens each stole 1 electron. And since this is a group 2 metal, it must have 2 stolen. Again, guys, charges are always conserved. And we get hydrogen gas, the calcium ion. Note now, 0 for the charge for all elements or compounds. 1 calcium +2, and it's +2 net on this side. 0 for an element, 2 + 1s is +2. +2 equals +2. Charges are always conserved. Okay, now let's take a look at number 4. This is a pretty straightforward one because our oxidation states are all +1 -1. Okay, now we have nitric acid. Again, it doesn't start with hydro, but it does end in ic. I'm looking for nitrate ion for my formula. NO3 -1. Again, hydrogen's always a cation, always +1. Another case, guys, this is a gas at room temperature. Bubble it through water, and I get nitrate ions and the protons in solution. This time we're reacting it with potassium hydroxide. Group 1 metal always +1. Hydroxide is always -1. Group 1 metal compounds are always soluble. So I have these ions in solution. Okay, now flip your cations around. Okay, that gives you potassium nitrate, +1 -1. Double whammy here on solubility. Okay, group 1 metal, all soluble. Nitrates, all soluble. No way. This can be anything but soluble. And then proton from the acid, hydroxide from the base. About 5,000 times you've all seen that one now. Form water. Okay, so my ionic is a proton from the acid in solution. Nitrate ion from the acid in solution. Potassium ion from the base, and hydroxide ion from the base. in solution. Okay guys, this doesn't really form. These are ions in solution. And then I get water. Okay. Now, the net ionic, just the water formation again, folks. I can't stress this enough. Any acid-base neutralization, specifically a hydroxide being my base, net ionic is going to look the same, except for possibly coefficients. For example, if this were sulfuric acid, I'd have 2 H pluses, and then I would need 2 hydroxides, and then I'd have 2 waters. But they're always essentially the same. You're going to form water. It's just how many of each of the particles. I hope you agree with me, and it's not too bad, this one. And you all have a nice weekend now.